That. Oh, crikey.
Hungry expert finally broke the Ghost BA Day's hungry 9 meals, set foot on the African savannah for the first time. The food we eat is not the same. I didn't just catch 2.5 of these chicks in the first place. I caught 2 tilapia fish with a trap, baked charcoal until soft inside. Great taste. There are also insects, delicious and juicy sashimi. I even went for a walk and picked up a little lost turtle. Sweet taste. Let him directly mix one. 5 treasures in South Africa. In Namibia, there's a large field of uninhabited grass. This time he decided to challenge. He's sitting in a pickup truck by nuclear power leased by the program group for 9 cents 9 yuan, carrying nothing but some photographic equipment. As for his hair, he had nowhere else to hang. Everyone knows that you can live a week without eating. If you don't drink water, it's open for 3 days, so top priority. We must quickly find traces of water along a dry riverbed. Hundreds of meters, soon enough, I found a natural lake to avoid. Directly drinking dirty water in the lake leads to sagging. He even deliberately dug a hole next to it for filtering. Just look at this clean, hygienic paposi. Even though the drink smells of earth, but compared to the water in the lake, but much cleaner. To solve the water problem, the next step is to find a suitable campsite in front of an old tree. According to the tree, I plan to camp here. But right now, suddenly there was a large group of monkeys. Everyone knows these monkeys are conscious, strong territory. Maybe one day there will be a sneak attack. The most important thing is we must quickly bring the fire up. 10 from nearby. Some dry wood burning quickly back to work. Thanks to the unusually dry weather here, you bear no effort. Has successfully ignited a raging fire. I have to say the name Fire Lord. It's not built, of course, to avoid fire burning large trees at night roast themselves. He even deliberately surrounded it with stones. Wait until the housing issue is resolved. He found a flock of wild chicks nearby. And there's also a couple of big antelope, and they're separated. When I saw this scene, I immediately salivated. But now it's too late. He plans to attack them tomorrow. When the night falls, hanging like that on a tree. My first page. Until the next morning, the cry of the duck. I woke him up early in the morning. Because I slept last night. It almost fell from the tree. Today he's going to build a tree away from the ground. Collect 11 little dry wood no one wants from nearby. Handmade elaborately by times 5 divided into to finished it. It's just a comfortable word. I've seen for survival factors that have lost their third. Next it's time for protein. And then I went to the rocks and looked for a while, very quickly. Always go out. I didn't see the yellow calendar. The little grasshopper was poisoned. Just a little wiggle scares me more. Then the second one. And he can't do much. Because I gave him a headache. The third. Protein supplements. And he collected 10. A lot of the same antelope. Nearby the horn tree. Back at camp, he's going to make a rope. I can't believe this is suddenly happening on the lake. The new wave is detected. It turns out they're all wild catfish. Hello you bald, if I could catch some. You can sleep well tonight. Let's go back to the first camp and make those trees fiber put under the sun. Then start planning your fishing. On its principal part, it's as simple as shown in the picture. Just on the beach. Use dry wood around a small mouth. Next can big fish big meat. It all depends on God's will. It's almost dried when you're done. After carefully composing by hand, very quickly got the traps to places that birds frequent. Once a bird has no eyes to steal this noose, I will immediately take him to the milk. When it's over, it's almost sunset. But soon tired, he quickly fell into a dream. Time immediately to the third day. Take advantage of the cool morning weather. Use stones to block all the openings of fishing traps. And then it doesn't stop. Start checking the trap noose. The trap in front of my parents. Unexpected competition caught a chick to habs. But still haven't had time to cheer. The fishing trap next door has good news. Face for dinner. Hello. I can't help but say that luck is a hat. In just 10 minutes, we've harvested to wild-caught fish. There's no need to worrying about dinner today. High-grade raw materials just need simple processing. Then throw the whole thing on the fire and grill the charcoal. When the night falls, eat. You have to start enjoying its delicious taste. Look at this soft white fish. If you eat it in your mouth, you can say it's just burning incense. Special filled for the protein contained in it. Probably don't need me to say more. Eat enough just so happily go to sleep. Fast time to Wednesday. To have a more comfortable life. He's been keeping an eye on it since early in the morning. Search follow each other's footsteps. Soon you found it. Some traces of human activity. It looks like this is a dividing line. These wires are a great material for trapping. First collect 11 little packed and brought back to camp. Then there's an animal carcass. There's a camera. Once the frog comes, he can act first. What about dinner tonight? It's still catching to wild tilapia. From the trap back to camp. It's just a few things that go into the dream. Fast time to Thursday. Come to check the camera. Of course, I found the good stuff. I see people eating nearby. In front of the lens. Look at the opponent's body. I'm going to use steel wire to set some traps nearby. To make sure he's using the tree's branches around other places. Once two brothers pass by, this place will be locked by a trap. However ideal, though very plump but practical. It's bigger than my German penis. Next day to the test room. There's not even half a hair inside. Think of the first day. No harvest is normal. To avoid being unable to subdue after catching each other, he even specially built one, jealous of the same size. But what surprised him was, for the next 2 days the trap remained silent, and the previous fishing trap. The ink is also completely removed due to the reduced water level. Until now, he was conscious of himself. This is really drifting. He's been hungry for 3 days. Tomorrow is the day to go home. If you don't do something to replenish strength, go home, you can't assign. So, he decided to leave the camp further to explore. After half an hour of hiking, I am tired of sitting on the top of the mountain. 1/0 anticipate the scene in front of you, but it made him laugh right away. I can't close my mouth. I saw a wild turtle just appear in front of you. The moment you hold it in your hand, there's a smile on your face. Open your mouth and do not hide. Must say this wave of nature's gifts. It's actually a high-grade material hat. It's still the old method, directly buried in the perfect fire. 2 hours later, the food finally came out of the oven. Look at this fat turtle. The meat in the mouth can be said to be tight, dense and fragrant, for the protein contained in it. We can't use beef to imagine right now. If you have to compare them, the amount of protein in it should be more. Beef 1,000 times, so fast time to the last day. In the morning, use turtle shells to cook a little tea. For breakfast, then pack medium-long hair loss equipment. Successfully met the tree that completed this challenge. 3 days hungry, 9 times hungry again this time. The island of survival. Found a wild black abalone. Go out and get a nutritious bird's nest outside. Charts in the cave, combined with the currently caught jumping fish, to boil a delicious soup. A good wilderness to survive. Turned him into a paid vacation. It is located in the northwest of the Philippines. There's a deserted island. This time I decided to challenge him. The moon will end you. Vessel temperature. Nuclear-powered fishing is actually of carpentry. Good bones. 2.5 hours by boat. Finally to the point of birth. After landing is still the old rule, except for some imaging equipment and a first aid kit that doesn't carry anything else about the hair. Everybody knows the most important thing to survive on a deserted island is to find fresh water. Coconuts are everywhere on the island. Just use a sharp stone to break it. You can drink sweet fruit juice, but the number of coconuts is limited. If you want to stay here for a long time, we've got to find the real water. You see marine litter everywhere on the island. Even in the heart of death, there's a sadness that can't be explained. But these are for survivors. No doubt about it, is to start giving away the divine attire and collect 10 more than 10 plastic bottles and some other shit. Get this done. He found some weeds brushed on the ground as a mattress. I thought I'd spend a peaceful night up there. I can't believe he suddenly felt sad at night. I remember living on a deserted island. Painful experience 60 days. Today, though it's been almost 2.5 years, but he still feels scared. Not every island has one. Wild goat hanged. So can we persevere this time? It's hard to say wait till it's been a long night. Wake up the next day. It's as if he's getting 10 years old right away, except for headaches and fever. I also have symptoms of infection on my knee. If not treated in time, if the situation is serious, it is very likely to be in danger. In desperation, I had to open my first aid bag, take 2 antibiotics, to a cool place to simply organize your thoughts. If you drink the rest of the coconuts, the situation has not improved. Then he can only give up the challenge. Fortunately, the emperor did not help the bald man. After 2 days of rest, the symptoms on the legs eventually subside. See 3 days of hunger, 9 meals of passive skills, has been punished. It's time for protein. I thought these wild trees were papaya, will be his future reserve. I didn't expect a piece down. I almost broke my front teeth. The mucus inside is like blowing bubbles. A disgruntled smell. He tried again and again. But it turns out there's no exception. It's all hard to swallow. In despair, death has to turn its attention to life, picking up a wild iron nail from the beach, put it in a beer bottle and shake it constantly. I follow the gravity of the goat. I've got a wild goggles in a minute. With the luck of this monumental device, he's using his elementary school knowledge in college. No effort required, has successfully ignited a raging fire. Looks like after 2.5 years, his survival skills have not declined. Solve the fire source problem. German food doesn't stop. Go to the outskirts of the city to chase the sea very quickly. Not see the yellow calendar of the hermit crab that was poisoned. And then we found some little sea snails and some crabs. It is also accidentally harvested. A wild iron look. To boil a delicious soup. This one piece down my parents. Crispy taste, so delicious that it booms. It's not hard to see from his drunken expression. It contains 10 times more protein than beef. To eat and drink so much that America is in the dream. Time immediately to Thursday. His accident went to sea. Find a wild fishing net. This is definitely a great treasure for him now. After packing and take back to camp, he tried to take advantage of the void. As the tide recedes, explore your surroundings. Walk along a crevice for 10 meters. I can't believe there's an attractive crab in front of me. Look at the whole lake in stark contrast to the outside. The vegetation here is not only extraordinarily dense, wild sea urchins in the country much, to the point of not being able to eat it all. Carefully pluck one ashore. Use stone to treat the spikes, its surface clean. Yellow-orange bag is edible. Open the sheet, I obey. The taste of a sip of expressium is like a hat. Whether it's protein or vitamins, CO is more than beef completed by 50 beef. He's on the other side of the lake, and he finds a small mangrove forest. If there is no accident, there's got to be traces of fresh water there. But if you want to get through, you have to build a French carpentry. Go back to camp and find a bamboo that no one wants. Use fire to divide it into the right length. But after some careful tying of him, soon there will be a simple leg calf. Wait until everything is ready. German dry duck can't wait to push dollar after a while on the opposite side. But when he swims to the shore, but discovered here, not even half a hair of water. Keep the thief's mind from going empty. Food. Germany came up with the idea of wild boat areas in the dry forest. There's more protein in this than beef. Taste a soft and smooth wet piece, melted at the entrance to taste this delicious dish for the first time. Can't stop for a while. Go back and from. In the dry forest draws a bigger one. This goes down to my parents. The taste of a sip full of exoticum. So good to explode. The taste is comparable to Michelin. Luxury meal in the restaurant. Replenish, finished, remove 50. Then he pushes the wood to another stone. After climbing a tree well, we've finally found traces of fresh water. Because of the excitement inside, there's no place to vent. Can only celebrate with a few couches. Then fill a big bottle with plastic bottles, clean water, but consider if drinking directly will most likely have a stomachache. So when we get back to camp, he doesn't drink immediately. Make a simple filter device. On its principal part, probably don't need me to say more. Put treated fresh water on fire. Train him with a half an ice cube, with a sip of cool white evaporation. He poked satisfaction and laughed furiously. Long time no see. See that the 4 elements of survival have been fully assembled. It's time to improve the quality of life. The next day picked up some plastic bottles no one wants from nearby. Use your hands to make fishing traps. After arriving at a hidden underground rock, as to whether or not big fish big meat, it's all about God's will. When the time comes to Saturday, go out and check the traps. I found the good stuff early in the morning because it's not clear exactly what this is. So he's going to use it as bait. Catch a big fish. I don't know if I can catch a shark or not. If you can make one. Then I've actually waited for the hat and arranged the hooks. The boy kept coming to see the trap. There's no surprise in that, of course. Even if it's just a 2.5 jump, the fish, but still feel full of joy. However, it's obviously not enough for him to put his teeth in. If you want a good meal, we have to find other materials, then go back and climb a secret cave. But here he found a more precious ingredient. Nests throughout this. It's all made from the saliva of the swallows. Protein oil is not. What kind of beef is comparable? Back to camp with the fish. Put in the cooking pot. Half an hour later, the food was ready. The taste of bird's nest, although a bit like noodles. But the protein that's in it, that's hundreds of times more than beef, enough to eat one more shovel. The true nest of the nutritional charts. A good wilderness to survive. He made it into a salary, with the help of these proteins. For the next few days the Lord lived very comfortably. Every day is not a beautiful sight. Are enjoying life. Time has come to the last day. High embroidery has removed all the previous traps. After completion, get your feet up and order the real ebony weaverina. Have completed this challenge. This is a boy who's about to go hungry and cry, just because I didn't finish my wife's homework. In the blink of an eye was thrown to Mongolia's Gobi Desert essay. At first he just wanted some fresh water to quench the thirst. But want to find water in this fucking desert. It's harder to find a wife online. In despair, he had to come up with the idea of a green belt. This green tree is used by the locals, called wild ass juice inside, very rich in juice. Just put it in your hand and squeeze. You can drink sweet fruit juice, yes. Oh, it's sour, but it's liquid. But it's definitely liquid, yes. However, this humidity, even though we can solve pressing problems, but want to survive long in the hot desert. Top priority, we have to find real water quickly. I saw it was almost sunset. There's no survival equipment. He had to live on his back. Stop the situation will only one night. By the next morning he had walked for hours. We finally found an island. The Lord immediately rejoiced greatly at seeing this scene. After a few flashes, they're in the middle of the oasis. After passing through a piece of reed, we finally found a swimming pool. Clean water can soon smoke. He couldn't think too much without saying two words. Lie down for a sip of water. Oh, so. Better than fire.
Better than fire.
To avoid sunburn. So baby, he even deliberately brought mud on his bare forehead. For sunscreens in the body with added water. The next step is to find a suitable campsite. To a place to cake. Simple exploration of the surrounding environment. He plans to camp here for 5 years. A large bundle of dry wood collected 10 from nearby. He poked quickly back to work. After years of training, today his skill of defeating firepower have been practicing for a long time. In just half an hour, has successfully ignited a raging fire with the blessing of fire. And so I had a peaceful night. Time to day 3. I saw my hungry blood hit the bottom. It's time to get out. Get some protein to supplement your strength. To an empty mountainside. Soon enough, he found a lot of mouse holes to have a delicious cherry meal. He moved the campfire here and stopped it in the middle. Plan to use the smoking method to remove it from the body. 2.5 hours in the sun. I didn't see half the mouse hair. Back to camp for 5 hours. Hungry to have his eyes in front of the oasis, and soon he found some syrup. This plant is rich in carbohydrates. Chewable, sour, sweet, not sour, not sweet, very delicious. Sun director slightly not. 10 on the way back. He picked up a wild iron vase again. Look at the wear. It must have been left by my grandfather next door. As soon as he returned to camp, I had a cup of hot tea to celebrate. On the way back, found a large patch of wild berries. This one piece down my parents. Sweet taste plus mouth-filling taste too already. I haven't eaten in a long time. I can't help but give a little more with these wild berries. We can't eat it all. He believed that even without his wife's care, I can live quite well myself, enough to eat by the lake. Get a bottle of clean water and take it back to camp. Add a little licorice root and wild berries. Richard is finally outside. Take a sip of hot cappuccino. I have to say this guy really likes it. After drinking tea, he picked up some ice. No one wants from around. Build a plan for yourself. Create a shelter against the wind and warmth. However, because this project is too powerful, he's half done, he's tired, he can't breathe. It seems like the next few days. Add some new protein until morning. The next day she started rolling stones early in the morning. Looking for protein, little lizard, quickly out. Without looking at the golden calendar that's been sold for salt. In just half an hour, he caught 4. I went back to camp after wearing a rope. Directly put on the coal mouth on the fire. This goes down. I'm good. Soft taste inside, scorched outside. Simply delicious to the point of explosion. He even licked the tree a few times. It's not hard to see from his drunken expression. Protein contained in it. Probably 10 times more than beef. Eat well enough. He was going out to take pictures. I suddenly found out halfway there. There's movement under the rock. On a closer look, Ro is a cute little hedgehog. Look at the head in front of you. The boy was a little lost. However, he was hungry and hot. The Germans couldn't care less. Just cry a little. Immediately gave his wife a lunch box of high-grade ingredients. They usually have the simplest way of cooking. After digging a hole in the ground, fill in some stones. Then we'll cover some wood on the surface and burn it to a blanket. And finally buried the hedgehog. A pile of shit on his forehead. When it is finished, you can eat it directly. Look at this. Look at this. Fat and lean hedgehogs. Eating in the mouth is not just smelling, but also a soft external taste comparison. It's comparable to a luxury meal in a restaurant. Michelin for the protein it contains. Probably don't need me to say more. There's protein in the body. I feel naked now. You can kill half the cow right away. Directly build the entire shelter in one breath. Considering the weather here at night is so cold, be careful. He even built a wall to keep us warm. There's also a sunroof out there for a view. I have to say this guy really likes it. To have a stable food source in the future. He went back to the previous place and caught 7 mice. Find the caves again. Still using the old method of blocking holes and setting campfires. This time he tried to spray a stone before checking it. In the meantime, he's not idle. Pick up some dry twigs. No one wants from nearby. Handmade elaborately by 5 divided into 2. Finished the roof. It's amazing to live in. After the shelter is settled, he doesn't stop to see the mouse. Unexpected after digging, I really caught a little cherry. I have one.
I've got one.
I actually had one. Then the second one. Number 2, it works, it really works. A house of 3 people, just as neatly annihilated by the regiment. High-grade material is still the old directly method. Buried in the fire to irrigate the flour. Half an hour later, the food was ready. This bit my mother. Crispy taste, so delicious that it booms. Look at his cute face, you know. The protein it contains is definitely limited. After eating, add a little wild berries. It was the last wild place to survive. Turned him into a paid vacation. When the night falls, I also miss my wife in the house. I remember the painful experiences of these days. That a man who's about to go home voluntarily apologizes to his wife. Maybe I can eat a hamburger again. Wait until the next morning. He packed up and headed home. So far the trip to Mongolia